But the Democrats, I don't think, understand this. They've taken his bait. They've enraged themselves. They started an internecine fight with each other, and they want to double and triple down on nonsense as opposed to get back to white middle class and lower middle income voters, which was their bread and butter for a century. Where I'm trying to be as objective as possible, because I've had my ups and downs with Donald Trump, and obviously I think he's a danger to our society. I've been pretty open to that. But there's something going on in the society right now. And I'm going to say it. I want you to react to it. I think he's the greatest culture warrior of our time. I think there is a culture war going on in the country. Pronoun usage, woke, DEI, the buckle of the Bible Belt doesn't like non-traditional America in their minds. And I think Donald Trump has assaulted the people. He's triggered the liberals, and he's got them with their hair on fire on most cable channels. Yep. And the right is dominating the media now. Take a look. They say the left is the left-wing media, the left is dominating, but the right really has a stronghold on ratings, whether it's Joe Rogan, radio, podcasting, Fox News. And so respond to that. Is he a formidable culture warrior? And is culture going to be a 26 issue for the midterms and another 28 issue? And what does that say about the Democrats? What are they missing here? First of all, am I right? Yes or no? And
on the culture war thing?
What does it say about the Democrats?
Oh, I think without question, you're right about the culture war. He has found cultural issues that deeply split the American society and that in many cases are winning political issues, right? They made the Trump campaign took the trans issue and made it a centerpiece of their effort. Go back and look at the ads they ran on transgender issues. You talk to people who are involved in the Trump campaign, and they will tell you that that was a turning point, that running trans ads helped them, not just with their base, though certainly it did, but it helped them peel off Black voters, other minority voters, suburban women in some cases, people who traditionally vote Democratic. And so, yes, I think Trump is absolutely a culture warrior. I don't see that stopping. I think that he has found ways to trigger the left, take positions that are not necessarily palatable to the American public from an electoral perspective. And I think he has united conservatives and his supporters behind him. And in some cases, people who weren't necessarily traditional Republican voters. And forgive me, what was the next question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. But the Democrats, I don't think understand this. I think they've decided, they've taken his bait. They've enraged themselves. They've started an internecine fight with each other, and they want to double and triple down on nonsense as opposed to get back to white middle class and lower middle income voters, which was their bread and butter for a century.
Yeah, I think that is something the Democratic Party is very much struggling with right now. And it's hard for them when they don't even have a leader of their party who's determining what their message is. And I'll just say a couple of things about the podcast issue, because it seems to me like podcasts and YouTube and streaming is very much becoming the dominant way of communicating with people. And you know this as a guy who has, you have a couple of very popular podcasts right now. I've seen you on the Spotify top charts. And so the power of communicating with people through podcasts, through non-traditional ways, in addition to the work that you do on more traditional cable news. And so, you've experienced this personally, I think. But if you look at the top Spotify charts, it's almost entirely dominated by conservatives at this point.
Wow. Listen, I agree. I mean, I think that's the weird thing about it. Trump tells you that the left-wing media is controlling things. The other great irony is on migration. If people come across the border, Elon Musk and Donald Trump say, well, they're going to turn the nation blue. But actually, those people are traditional Catholics generally.
Right.
And they slant towards conservatism. So there's a big irony there. What would turn the country blue, Alex Isenstadt? Having Canada be the 51st state. That would turn the country blue. I mean, they're all liberals up there. I know what Trump's doing,
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing, though, about the podcast issue, which is that it's not just the Charlie Kirks of the world who are out there who are sort of traditionally aligned with, they're sort of the classic MAGA supporter, right? You also, if you look at the top of the charts, it's also people like Rogan. And those are people who probably are skewing more pro-Trump at this point, but they are appealing to a less traditional MAGA voter. So a lot of men who feel like they are disregarded by society, who are struggling economically, who are maybe struggling emotionally in some cases. And those people have really come to identify with Trump. And Trump did very well among male voters, including male voters who might not typically vote in elections. I mean, look at where Trump spent time. It wasn't just on Rogan. It was on places like 𝗕cio_VaughN, another very popular podcaster. He was hanging out. Trump was literally hanging out at frat houses.
He did well on those podcasts. He did well on 𝗕cio_VaughN's podcast. My kids objectively give him a high grade on that.